If you're over 50, the moment you chew and swallow a handful of peanuts, a very specific chemical reaction begins inside your arteries. You probably have a jar of them in your pantry right now. Maybe it is that classic blue can from the grocery store, or the giant plastic tub from Costco. You grab a quick handful standing at the kitchen island, or while sitting in your recliner watching the evening news. It is cheap, it is crunchy, and it feels like a much smarter choice than potato chips. But if you are keeping an eye on your blood pressure, or if your doctor mentioned your cholesterol numbers at your last physical, a quiet, nagging thought probably crosses your mind. Are these actually safe for my heart, or am I just quietly adding to the plaque in my chest? It is exhausting trying to keep up with American nutrition advice. One morning, the TV news tells you nuts are a superfood. The next day, you are warned that the fat and the salt are destroying your blood vessels. You do not want another complicated diet. You just want a straight answer about what is happening inside your own body. Hello, I am Dr. Pulse, a board-certified physician who has spent years studying exactly how our daily habits impact our cardiovascular system. And today, we are turning off the confusing headlines. We are not going to use fear or guilt. Instead, we are going to shrink down and travel directly into your blood vessels. I am going to show you the exact moment that peanut hits your bloodstream. We will watch how the walls of your arteries actually react. And by the end of this video, I will show you the one simple mistake most people make in the snack aisle that turns this heart-healthy food into a blood pressure trap. Before we talk about the peanut, we have to talk about the road it travels on. When you were 20 or 30 years old, your arteries were like fresh rubber bands. They were flexible. If you went for a run, or if you ate a heavy meal, your blood vessels simply expanded to handle the blood flow, and then snapped back. But after 50, the environment inside changes. The inner lining of your arteries is called the endothelium. It is a thin, delicate layer of cells. Think of it like the non-stick coating on a frying pan. Its job is to keep your blood flowing smoothly and to tell the blood vessels when to open wide and when to tighten up. But over the decades, through everyday stress, normal aging, and occasional spikes in blood sugar or blood pressure, that non-stick coating starts to get a little worn down. The arteries become a bit stiffer. They do not relax as easily. This is why, after 50, you might notice your hands or feet getting colder, or why your blood pressure numbers at the doctor's office might creep up, even if you feel completely fine. Your body is not broken. It is just responding to the miles on the odometer. And this brings us back to our handful of peanuts, because what you put into your stomach is about to send a direct chemical message to that delicate lining. Let's say you eat a small handful of plain peanuts. You chew them, swallow, and they drop into your stomach. Here is a fascinating fact many people are never clearly told. Peanuts are not actually nuts. They are legumes, cousins to beans and lentils. Because of this, they break down differently. As the digestive acids go to work, they unlock a very specific amino acid inside the peanut. It is called L-arginine. Imagine L-arginine as a microscopic key. It leaves your digestive tract, enters your bloodstream, and travels right to your arteries. It floats along until it finds the cells of your endothelium, that non-stick coating we talked about. When L-arginine meets the endothelium, it triggers a reaction. Your body uses it to create a gas called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is one of the most important molecules your body makes. It is a vasodilator. That is a fancy medical term that means it tells your blood vessels to relax. If you could look at an artery under a microscope at this exact moment, you would see it physically widen. The stiff walls soften. The space inside expands. And as the artery opens up, the heart does not have to push as hard. The blood flows easier. The pressure comes down naturally. It is like unkinking a garden hose. When you eat the right kind of peanut, you are actually feeding your arteries the raw materials they need to take a deep breath. But that is not the only thing happening. As the L-arginine is helping the blood vessels relax, something else is being absorbed from that peanut, the fat. Now, the word fat has scared people for decades. You might have been told in the 1990s to avoid all fat to protect your heart. But science has moved on, and we now know that your body absolutely needs certain fats to survive. Peanuts are packed with something called oleic acid. It is the same heart-friendly fat you find in olive oil. When this fat reaches your liver, it sends a calming signal. It helps support healthy cholesterol patterns. It acts almost like a smooth polish, moving through the bloodstream without easily sticking to the artery walls. It does not cause the aggressive inflammation that leads to heavy plaque buildup. Instead, it gives your cells long-lasting, steady energy. This is why a handful of peanuts can keep you full for hours without spiking your blood sugar. So right now, the L-arginine is keeping the vessels open, and the oleic acid is moving smoothly through the blood. It sounds perfect, right? It sounds like you should eat peanuts all day long. But here is where the plot twists. Here is the part most people over 50 completely miss. And it is the reason why a healthy snack can suddenly turn into a heavy burden for your heart. If you walk into any grocery store in America and look at the snack aisle, you will see a wall of peanuts. Actually, do me a quick favor right now. Pause this video for just 1 second and let me know in the comments below. What kind of peanuts are sitting in your pantry today? Are they plain and dry roasted, or are they the honey roasted party mix? Be honest, there is no judgment here. Once you've done that, let's look closely at those labels. You will see honey roasted. You will see party mix. But mostly, you will see peanuts roasted in cheap, inflammatory vegetable oils like soybean oil or cottonseed oil, and then completely buried in heavy salt. This is the mistake. When you eat heavily salted peanuts roasted in refined oils, you completely reverse the benefits of the L-arginine. Let me explain what happens inside. The heavy dose of sodium hits your bloodstream fast. Your body senses the salt and panics. To dilute the salt, your body pulls water out of your cells and into your bloodstream. Suddenly, your blood volume increases. It is like turning up the faucet on that garden hose, full blast. At the same time, the inflammatory refined oils irritate that delicate non-stick coating of the endothelium. So instead of relaxing, the artery gets irritated and stiffens up. Now you have more fluid pumping through a tighter, stiffer tube. The result? Your blood pressure rises. Your heart has to work harder. The benefit of the peanut is completely destroyed by what the factory added to it. You might feel this physically. You might notice your rings feel tight on your fingers later that day. You might notice your ankles swell just a little bit by the evening. That is your body telling you, I am holding on to water and my system is under pressure. So what is the actual solution? Should you avoid them? Not at all. You just need to know the rule. When you buy peanuts, look for 2 words on the label: dry roasted or raw. Dry roasted means they were cooked with hot air, not soaked in cheap oils. And if you are watching your blood pressure, look for unsalted or lightly salted. If you find plain peanuts too boring to eat, here is a simple kitchen trick that works beautifully after 50. Take a small handful of dry roasted peanuts, about the size of your closed palm, which is roughly 1 ounce. Eat them alongside a small piece of dark chocolate or a sliced apple. The vitamin C and antioxidants from the apple or the dark chocolate actually protect the nitric oxide inside your blood vessels. They make the relaxing effect last longer. You get the crunch, you get the sweetness, and your arteries get a wave of pure, supportive nutrition. No guilt, no stress. Just your body working the way it was designed to. Now, as always, we have to talk about reality. If you have a peanut allergy, you already know to avoid them. But if you are dealing with advanced kidney disease, you need to be careful. Peanuts contain potassium and phosphorus, and your doctor may have given you strict limits on those. If you are on heavy blood pressure medication, and your doctor has put you on a very strict, low-sodium protocol, you must respect that. Always talk to your doctor before making big changes to how you eat, especially if you are managing a chronic condition. This does not mean you should panic about food. It means your body is unique, and it deserves respect. After 50, food is no longer just about calories. It is about information. Every time you eat, you are sending a set of instructions to your heart, your arteries, and your brain. When you choose dry roasted peanuts, you are sending instructions to relax, to open up, and to flow smoothly. You are taking a tiny, invisible burden off your heart. And that is what this channel is all about. We are not here to sell you miracles, and we are not here to scare you into eating perfectly. We are here to help you understand the incredible machine you live inside. If you learned something new today about your body, consider subscribing and sharing this video with someone who loves a good snack. I will be here every week, walking you through what happens inside you, step by step. Until next time, listen to your body. It is always trying to tell you something.